Oilerslive Studio. Subscribe or follow today.
Hey, it's Oilers Live on Wednesday on the drive home, and it's game night. It's the pregame show. I've got my co-host Dash in the park with me tonight. We're going to talk a little bit of hockey, talk some Edmonton Oilers, talk a little bit of the heavy hockey showdown. Biggest game coming to Edmonton this Sunday, February 25th at 11 a.m. And there's going to be a pre-party. Battle of Alberta coming up. Tonight's the Bruins and the Oilers. We'll talk a little bit about that, what we think you should expect tonight, and maybe around the league. We've got no agenda. We're going to have some fun. Nobody better to have fun with than Mr. Dash himself. How you doing, buddy?
Here to have fun. Doing good. We are on Showdown Eve. Eve. It's pretty big one for us. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to having you in town this weekend. Looking forward to having some fun with the Edmonton Sports Talk guys. Looks like they are aligning their army, as we all heard on Edmonton Sports Talk today. They've got coaches in place, goaltending coaches in place.
Oh, man.
They've got a physical trainer. I think we're falling behind early, to be honest.
No worries. We got some tricks up our sleeves, right?
That's good. That's good.
Old-time hockey. Old-time hockey.
Heavy hockey, as they say.
Right. Heavy hockey. Great job by the fellows over at Edmonton Sports Talk today, and a shout out to the generous soon-to-be donations that they were able to raise. $1,850, I think they did, in a single session and auction, which had some pretty good
set of lower bowl tickets.
Yeah, and a set of lower bowl tickets, all going to be on the silent auction.
Tune in again tomorrow. There might be some more tricks up the boys' sleeves. You never know, right?
You
never know what might be up for grabs. We need a coach. Who wants to coach us?
Well, we might actually do a little bit of a live auction for a coach, maybe on the pre-party at the pre-party.
Pitch Fergie's prostate to come and coach us since he got outbid by Pete.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should want to coach the winning team, right?
Keep that competition going. That's
you want to coach the winning team. I think you want to have that record.
Is winning.
Like if you want a cup, you know where to go.
I don't know if you caught the oil stream today, but you could hear Dusty asking Tommy what his expectations for this game were, and I could hear the fear in his voice.
100%.
I don't know. I think they think they're in one, and they might be in one. Just saying.
I will neither confirm nor deny that there's a bounty out for Dusty in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say one way or the other, but
I'm not saying I got a ref in my back pocket, but I might have a ref in my back pocket.
That's right. Hey, the jerseys look hot, don't they? Everything look hot.
Looks good, man. Yeah.
Who put that design together? That's awesome.
Looking forward to meeting him this weekend.
Yeah.
Him or her.
So I'm on leaving on the jet plane. Bags are packed, ready to go. I'm going in a few hours. It's not far from now. I mean, about 5 hours. I got to leave from my house to the airport and get on a plane. And then not 5 hours, or 8 hours from now. Jeez, that'd be early.
Getting your time zones mixed up already.
Already getting them crazy. I get on a plane. I got to fly through Toronto. Hopefully see some disappointed Leafs fans. And then I'm on my way to Edmonton. What do you think? While I'm talking about Toronto. What do you think about Matthew's season so far? I mean, this I know we're all Connor McDavid 24/7 here, but the guy might know how to score.
He's up there again in the lead leaguers and blocked shots. He wins a good amount of faceoffs. He still takes a lot of defensive zone draws. I don't know what the hell's not to like about Austin Matthews. Like, I mean, the only thing that Austin Matthews has going against him, I think, is the fact that like his fan base has pitted him up against our two greats, and anybody on this side of Winnipeg's probably going to tell you that Draisaitl and McDavid are the two best players in the universe, and anybody on that side of the universe or that side of Winnipeg is going to tell you that it's McDavid, Matthews, 1A,
Yeah.
1B, interchange, and then
I mean,
everybody.
there's no doubt he's doing amazing things, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a
the
lot
last
of
guy
goals,
to score 6 Hatties was none other than Mario Lemieux, right?
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago or something, 30 years
I-
ago. Maybe.
I could remind you, like, I mean, I'm not one to brag or, point it out when I'm right. I'm really not that type of person.
No, not. I was just thinking that. I'm like, you're not going to point out that you're right about something.
Pretty
That's
much a
just
tattoo I have.
the character for you.
Really humble, really humble. But I did say in
humble.
our heavy hockey preview show that he would win the Rocket Richard Trophy. And
Well, that's not a huge stretch.
Well, it is when McDavid scores
I guess.
165 goals the year before.
I guess. I mean, hey, like McDavid's likely the only one that could have made a play for it.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Well, or dry, or
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. And I still think Leon Draisaitl, as far as goal scorers go, like he's on pace for over like 40 again this year, right? If not, like, would not surprise me if he pulls out 50 still, right? I mean, he's a long ways away from 50. It'd be a hell of a pace. I think he'd pretty much have to have a goal a game.
27 and 52.
Yeah. So, but they've got 48 games left or 46 games. Yeah. So
how many times has when Connor McDavid decided that one of his teammates needed a milestone, does he just decide and go and get it for him?
Yeah.
Nuge needs 100. Hang on here. Let's just do that. Oh, wait, Dry needs 50K. Hang on. Let's just do that. Oh, I need 150K. Hang on. Let's just do that.
Here's the thing, though. It's like I think about Draisaitl, and I've said this time and time again. Like, he has got to be the most underrated goal scorer in the league. Like, this is a guy that's, he's been 50 goals for however long. But the year he did 50 and 50, like, it's like nobody talked about the fact that he was a 50 goal scorer.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, he's
for 43 right now. So it's not
43.
Stretch.
It's not too shabby, right? Like, he's just consistent, right? He's consistently scoring goals. He does so many things that I love the guy. Leon, I love you. I don't know where you are right now. If you're watching, I think you're awesome. Do you know our
sexy bitch
in the
pissy
chat
or not?
Do you know our in the chat? Is it Genius or Genius? McKay says hello to both of us. If our Oilers play a full 60, we shall win. Yeah, I guess you can't.
Doesn't happen.
And give us the phonetics of your name if you wouldn't mind in the chat. I don't want to call you, or maybe can we just call you Jen? Although I would,
J-Mac.
I'd be all right. Yeah, J-Mac. Genius sounds pretty good.
I mean, I'm the genius here, so
that's right.
Get in line.
There can only be one. Boston's been struggling lately, but they played a couple of good back-to-back games. But they're a good team. I mean, yeah, if you don't play full 60 against a team like them, they'll make you pay. But they did just run up. They're not in first anymore. In the Florida just passed them in the East, but they're 4-4-2 in their last 10. I don't know. I mean, we suspected that Boston would have some drop off. Obviously, I mean, it'd be next to impossible to keep the pace that they were, and then, the team's just not the same leadership, obviously, but they still have a lot of leadership there.
I think it's a culture thing, is it not? Right? Like, I mean,
it's got to be. They're just outstanding, right?
Marchand and Pasternak can now take the torch from Bergie and Chara before that. They've had like that franchise has been so solid for so long. And I think when you build a culture like that and you build that ability for everybody to learn to, play our role, play their role, and step in when they're needed, right? Like you look at who would have thought Charlie Coyle jumps up to the top line this year and just like, smooth as butter, no problem. Hey, here we go. Let's go, Mark.
I think it's the
Let's go,
jerseys.
Marshy.
They look
Right?
mean.
It might be they do have the best jersey in the NHL.
Yeah, they look mean. Like they literally, like, when they're wearing the black jerseys, it looks mean. Like it looks like a mean team.
Just doesn't matter who they put in there,
Yeah.
though, right? Like Louis, DeBrusk, not Louis, I just about said Jake DeBrusk up on the top line, and now he's filling in, and they bring in Lindholm, and he's a perfect fit, and they bring in Shattenkirk, and he looks like the best Shattenkirk there's ever been, and it's just like, there's something to be said about putting good players in a good system, and they excel, right? Like, Corey Perry's looking better as an Oiler than he does as a Chicago Blackhawk. There's no reason that should be a surprise.
That's that's true. Boston's definitely goaltending helps too. Having two starters is not a bad problem.
Are we going down this argument again?
No. But I'm saying, in the case of Boston,
you put Skinner and whoever in the Bruins net for the last 2 years, and their stats would be just damn fine.
Yeah. But they've had their goalies have stolen a couple for sure.
So since Austin Matthews was in the league, sorry to cut you off, I'm going to jump back to our first. Since Austin Matthews was drafted into the league, who do you think has the most goals since 16-17?
Since 16-17?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You're asking the question, so I got to figure it's Draisaitl.
It's Matthews.
Is it Matthews? Okay.
Yeah, he's got 344 in 532 games. Pretty damn good.
Not too
bad. He's
had
some injuries, right? So 532 games. Number 2, 557 games. A little bit more than Matthews, but 311 goals scored as Ovi.
Yeah.
Tied with Ovi in 579 games, 311 by Draisaitl. Tied. So here we got the guy that scored since Austin Matthews has been in the league. You think he's an underrated goal scorer? He's second in the NHL in goals scored since Matthews was drafted. And if you did a poll, and I think there is one actually, but you ask who's the best passer in the NHL? Draisaitl, the guy that scored the second most goals in the NHL in the last 7 years. Nobody else on that list is a finesse passer that can do it from their backhand or their forehand. Like Pasternak's right behind them with 310, by the way. But right, you look.
Is Pasta that high? That's awesome.
Yeah, right behind.
Yeah, I'd love watching him play too.
And Connor's right there at 308. So, right, but like Connor and Leon are the two best passers out of those top 5. Matthews, Ovi, Pasternak. After that, it's McKinnon, Rantanen, Point, Kucherov. Right? Like, I don't know, man. Anybody that wants, I can argue Draisaitl being the second best player in the universe all day long.
Yeah, you're not going to hear any argument from me.
Competitive. He's mean. He's defensive when he needs to.
It's just, it's a silly. To me, it is a bit of a silly argument, right? Like, there's Connor McDavid, and then there's everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. Like, on any given day, the only one. In fact, I would say the only player that I've seen that I feel is close to Connor McDavid isn't Draisaitl or Matthews. It's Cale Makar.
Yep, Nathan McKinnon gives him a run.
Yeah, Nathan McKinnon does, but
Sidney Crosby
in my mind,
prime, he's not there now, though.
Close to McDavid, but not McDavid, is Cale Makar. And the other guys, in a weak stretch can be as good, but there's no doubt in my mind Connor McDavid's the best player in the world, and then there's a couple that are and there's a handful of guys that can be close on any given night, and Crosby in his prime. Crosby was a whole different player, right? Like,
for sure. For sure.
Like he's got to be up there in terms of the great leaders of the game. And I love watching Crosby play. Absolutely love watching him play. And there's a lot of guys I love watching play. But as far as pure goal scorers go, I mean, Austin Matthews, absolutely. Like the fact that he shot, it took him 5 shots in the accuracy competition, and he almost beat the time of McDavid, tells you just how quick his release is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it's just that's the thing is his. There's nobody with the same release in the league as Austin Matthews. But
nobody in
in
the
terms
world,
of
nobody
all
on the
around players,
planet, really.
I would have no argument to say that all around, like Draisaitl is a better player.
Yeah.
In
Bedard
Oil
might give
country,
Matthews a run for his release down the road. He's not quite there yet, but he
Yeah.
might be able to be the only guy that gives him a run. You know, it's funny. You want to segue back to what we were talking about with the Bruins. This list is still up in front of me. The top 10 goal scorers since 2017.
Yeah.
4 of them are playing tonight. So that's Marchand, Pasternak, Draisaitl, and McDavid.
Marchand is like he's
who'd have thought, eh?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought? I didn't think there was rats in Alberta.
I know. They're here. They're there.
He's here.
He got through. He got through the border. Rat Patrol didn't get him. Man, you know, somebody should come to the game in a Rat Patrol outfit, right? Has that happened before?
I don't know.
That's a great idea.
If
you're listening out there, you're going to the game, head over to Michael's or whatever, create yourself a
just grab your Ghostbuster costume, put a rat over top of the ghost, and go get at her.
There. That's exactly it. Should be a good game tonight. I mean, you know, even like when Boston's slumping, I mean, that like 4-4-2. I mean, I would, as an Oilers fan, I'd love if 4-4-2 was a slump for us, but it's more like, you know, 2-8, or, you know, like Oilers when we slump hard, right? Like, you know, they know how to slump. But
the Bruins were worse than that in their last 10.
Yeah. Boston?
Yeah, I thought they were like
4-4-2,
2-7-1 in their last 10 or something like that.
No, 4-4-2. Yeah, I mean they've won a couple in the last couple games, so probably late last week. I mean that changes, depends on where the wins are. It changes pretty quick.
They'd lost 4 in a row before beating Dallas in overtime.
Yeah,
in a shootout, nonetheless.
Yeah, as I said, I saw them in Vegas, and they didn't look great. Vegas is doing the Tampa Bay thing, right? We expect Eichel back at playoff time. Is that what's going to happen?
Probably.
Pick up. I think that switch gears a bit.
Makes me angry to think about.
Yeah, does that rule? Like, do they need to find a way out of that? Like, does the NHL need to change that?
I don't know. Or the Oilers need to find a way to take advantage of it. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the other thing. Am I annoyed by it because the Oilers haven't taken advantage of it? Like, would I be? Because ask a Lightning fan if they think it's a crappy rule.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd be hard pressed to tell you.
Well, they spit shine their trophy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, absolutely great.
Mark Stone in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hey, Kaner, Vogues. How's that athlete's foot?
Skinner gets to start tonight, right? Skinner's in.
I believe
Skinner's
so. Yeah.
in net. Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about goaltending the other night with Dursa. And what's your thought on that? I mean, obviously, the Oilers haven't been the same since they got back from the break. I think, though, and you'll appreciate this, I think less so the goaltending, more so the defense has been absolutely horrendous a little bit. Like, it stretches, right?
No, the penalty
and then this PK. Like
10 of the last 20.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
What did they like? They were 1 goal in 41 chances before that or something. I don't remember. I don't know the exact stat, but
something like that.
It was over 40, right?
Yeah.
It was the best PK in the league for a stretch. And now it's Got to be at least close to the worst.
Now. Well, what just over the All-Star break or since the All-Star break, we dropped from 5th to 15th or something like that.
All day I would have said, let's keep Brown in the lineup as long as the PK is doing all right. But if the PK is not doing all right, then what do you keep? And of course he sat the other night. If Nuge is out, if he's not feeling well,
it all balances out, right? These are ebbs and flows and little adjustments being made. You can see Skinner making adjustments in these games too, right? He's clearly working on something. Like, you can, I don't know, just it's that whole, the less confidence a goalie has, he plays deeper in his net, just like we saw with Koski back in the days and Smith when they weren't playing well. You start going down too often, you start playing too deep. Seeing a little bit of that with Skinner, right? You lose a little bit of confidence and that happens. I don't know. I just they're going to go through these little.
I don't think he's been that terrible, to be honest.
No, I know. I just you can tell he's not quite himself, but to J-Mac's point there, whenever they play a full 60, they're going to win. They just don't. We've been good enough now that we don't have to. We can play just as much as we need to win, except for a few circumstances. But the schedule's been fairly favorable too. I don't know if you saw Stauffer's tweet. He had said Oilers under Chris Knobloch, so that's since November 13th. The Oilers are 39-0, so that's a .769 winning percentage, which is first in the NHL. They're plus 51 in goals differential since then, and that's first in the NHL. 3.85 goals per game is second in the NHL. Goals against 2.54 per game, and that's third in the NHL. Power play at 28% is fifth in the NHL, and PK is at 83.2, which is sixth in the NHL over that time.
And I still look at that power play and I think, man, the power play.
Wait till it clicks.
Stinks this year, right? As far as
28%. Yeah, it's got another 5% to go.
Sitting in fifth, and I'm disappointed.
Well, we all knew it was going to be Pittsburgh's year.
The whole Pittsburgh thing. Don't get me going. I've been watching this power play, and every time I see that stat that we're sitting around fifth, and I think, oh man, it's just not, But they score. Here's the part I don't get. Stoff put out after Bush scored the overtime winner. He's like, the last 3 times there was a power play in overtime, Bouchard scored the winner. And so on the 4-on-3, Knobloch's got to take that tweet, take that into and the next time we have a 5-on-3, whatever they're doing then, do that, because that 5-on-3 was horrendous.
Knobloch had a gold finger again, though. Sticks Knobloch up on that, Knobloch puts himself out there. Player coach, just kidding. Put McLeod up there again, and I thought McLeod had a great game. He just seems to be able to find the right chemistry every single time.
Yeah, and I think the guys are playing the right way. They understand what's going on, what's expected. And he's made he's got now that we've seen McLeod up the lineup a little bit. Now that he's got Perry, Kane, I think, is engaged, ready to come and play every night. I just think he's got now and I'm not sure even Woodcroft had this on every night, but he's got options, right? He's got actual legitimate different looks that this team can have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he's used it, and he's used it the right way.
He's got a bunch of Swiss Army knives on the team, right? Derek Ryan seems to be able to slot in wherever he can, whether it's penalty kill, whether it's third line, whether it's fourth line, whether it's center. Ryan McLeod is like Ryan Nugent Hopkins light. He can be a winger, he can be a center, he can play the second line, he can play the third line, he can play some penalty kill, he can play some power play. It's nice to have all those options, and you just have the right guys going at the right times, and eventually they're gonna click, but he just seems to get them to click all the time.
Yeah, he's definitely got it made. Norm in a combine.
Oh,
Says,
big
"Hey,
regular.
boy."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How's it going, Norm?
Want to raise some more funds, get Matty kicked out sooner than later from the game Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's get Awanek fired up. Red hot Italian. I like that, Norm. Damn rights. Let's get like an auction going for maybe we get like one of those bingo cards for when Surveyor Brett throws Matt out of the game. Because it is happening. I mean, they've been at each other for months, Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Surveyor Brett's just been in Awanek's ear nonstop about how he's been a terrible commissioner in all of the Nielsen Show drafts, and he's gonna come in and commandeer the commissioner position, and Awanek's back at Surveyor Brett at his throat, and so he told him he's gonna kick him out of the game. I don't know. There's a lot of animosity building here already for this charity.
These are the
classic,
days
and,
of our lives here. Right now.
and honestly, maybe since we're already throwing down like this, I'm going to tell you right now, YouTube Trevor, I heard you today saying you're going to go in and throw a clapper down from the hash marks on an empty net. Buddy, you go throwing a clapper slap shot from the hash marks at our empty net, you better by the time you turn around have your gloves off, brother. Just kidding.
I think. Hey, I'm there. I'm backing you up from the bench. From the bench, I'm backing you up. No, we'll be out on the same line together. I don't know in what capacity, whether it's playing D or playing up forward. We'll see. We'll get out there, do a couple shifts, do a couple laps.
See how it falls in.
Yeah. We got to get...
I'm not sure we've got anybody that can skate backwards. Might have to have a little bit of a tryout first. We'll see.
I thought we said no skating backwards allowed.
No, that was no back checking allowed.
And no raisies. No raisies and no skating backwards.
No going straight off the pipe bar down.
That's right. That's right. No, it's going to be a fun game.
Norm, you want to be our coach? Jeepers.
Yeah, get him in there.
Yeah, we might auction it off.
We
might auction it off.
Yeah, we will auction it off. Come on out, those of you that are around. Make sure you check it out. Go to heavyhockey.com/heavyhockeyshowdown, and there's a link on that page for tickets for the pre-party on Saturday night at Soho. They're going to go all night at Soho, so we're starting at 4 p.m. so that those of us going to the game can get there in time. And then they're going to show the game at Soho, audio on. So it's going to be fun. Lots of Oilers fans in the building. And then they got a band right after. Damn Near Famous is the band. And apparently, and I, of course, I'm in Halifax, so I've not had the chance to listen, but apparently they're damn near good too. No, they're supposed to be a really good band. So you make sure you get out there, have some fun. Make sure you arrange a ride or an Uber, and get over there and just like let loose for the night. I think after the game, maybe we head back to Soho. I don't know. Maybe a little Bed Bath and Beyond. Who knows?
Who knows what Saturday will bring us.
Yeah. Norm says Soho is awesome. Pizza is awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I've never been to Soho. Heard good things. Yeah. Obviously, great supporters of the great place. Oilers community, right? Like you hear about them all the time. So, it should be a lot of fun. Let's take a little break. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more hockey again. And got Dash. I didn't say, but if you're listening in on TuneIn, you can also come and join in the chat on youtube.ca/heavyhockey or facebook.com/Oilers podcast. We've got Bloke Franklin listening in live from Australia on YouTube.
Awesome. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, good. You talked to him before.
Hi, mate. Oh, hell yeah. He's a friend. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, get yourself a little bit of Marmite, sit down and relax. We'll be back in about a minute. Devin, Bruce, and the rest of the fantasy hockey hacks right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Mountain, or tune in at youtube.ca/heavyhockey and make sure you like and subscribe. Looking for a hockey fix? We've got editorials, fantasy hockey, monthly brackets, and more. Go to heavyhockey.com. Hey, it's Oilers Live Tuesdays, a regular 9 p.m. Mountain Time, now streamed live on edmontonsportstalk.com, or tune in at youtube.ca/heavyhockey. Make sure you subscribe.
Oilers Live Podcast.
Want hockey podcasts? Tough Call Podcast, 99 Forever Podcast, fantasy hockey hacks, and replays of Oilers Live. Available anywhere you get podcasts. Just search for Heavy Hockey Network or go to heavyhockey.com. That's right. We need your help. We need your subscriptions. Make sure you subscribe at www.youtube.ca/heavyhockey.
Oilers Live Podcast. Oilers Live Podcast.
All right, we're back. Well, I'm getting the intro wrong. Hey, we're back, right? It's Oilers Live on Wednesday, drive home on the pregame show. Who's up next, by the way? Is it Tommy? Tommy does the pregame show and does a hell of a job too.
Yeah, Tommy, Cassian, sometimes YouTube Trev. Yep.
Yeah, love those guys. Honestly, a big shout out to the guys at Edmonton Sports Talk. Came up big today for the Heavy Hockey Showdown, which is this weekend. Raised $1,850 and a set of tickets, nice tickets too, good tickets for the St. Louis Blues game, which will be auctioned off at the pre-party, the Heavy Hockey Showdown pre-party. I think we'll see, but I think we're going to raise 30 grand this year for SACE, which is pretty damn impressive. So pretty excited about that. Thanks to Bloke Franklin for tuning in all the way from Australia. By far, I just want you to know, I'm not normally this slow, but it takes a long way for the data to get to Australia. So I seem a little bit slower than normal. That's all.
And I'm still just as smart.
He's still just as smart. You gotcha. You got it. All right. What do we got going on? So tonight's the Bruins. We don't know about Nugent Hopkins, but I'm gonna guess he's out.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good. Apparently, if you listen to Tommy Gazzola's EST rink report, he was on some fluids today and probably hitting an IV bag from what I can imagine, and had a little bite of that flu that's been going through the NHL. Apparently the Wild had it and a few guys in the Oilers, and it's been kind of working its way through, I guess. Nuge is the latest victim as per Tommy Gazzola.
Every year, right? Like teams go through it.
Oh,
one at a time. There was one year, I remember, the Oilers seemed to like have that long lasting. It was during Connor McDavid's era. I want to say it might have been 16-17. We were talking about that year. And it felt like 3 weeks of flu throughout the dressing room. Connor McDavid missed a couple games, I remember. Nuge, it was brutal, but hopefully it ends at Nuge. Around the league tonight, we've got the Leafs at the Coyotes. Austin Matthews trying to get to 50 goals. Canadians and Sabres right now in the first. It's 1-0 Canadians. I like this Canadians team. I see, like that Slavkovsky, like he's doing.
Yeah, he's coming around.
Doing outstanding. They're fun to watch. I don't know that they're You know what they remind me of, though, sadly? Like, they remind me of the decade of darkness team that the Oilers had. Like, just it was like they had nights where they were fun to watch too, right? Like, I
Oh,
remember when
sure, yeah.
Eberle and Hall and Nuge, were playing together. I was at the game in Calgary early in the season. Might have even been the first game of the year. And Eberle did something, outstanding, and they went on the power play, and Nuge always had that quick shot from like, and Nuge just got a like he hit the post the other night. Like, it's deceptive, right? Like, it just comes off quick release.
A great snapshot.
Yeah, great. And they passing it around like the Oilers do now, the three of them, and they scored early on in this Battle of Alberta game, and I looked at my buddy who's a Flames fan. I'm like, get used to this, because we're gonna be kicking your ass for the next 5-6 years. Yeah, didn't happen. I mean,
Didn't happen. Didn't happen.
No.
What you're saying is basically Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki are just Cogliano and Gagne.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you're really entertaining, but you got a few dark years ahead.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I don't look at that team and think, they're going to be like somebody to contend, in a few years.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure Canadians fans will tell me I'm wrong, but I would have told you I was wrong. I would have told you that you were wrong if you said the Oilers are going to dwell in the bottom for 10 years.
Yep.
The Sabres, to me, are the big enigma here.
Yeah, I thought they'd be better this year for sure. It's and they've got some players still performing. Like Dahlin's second in the NHL in defensive scoring, behind Mackenzie Weegar of all people. This whole year has been a bit bizarro.
It has. It's been a different year. I mean, but look, I like the teams that you expect to do all right are still doing all right. You have Florida, Boston, Rangers, the Canes, right? It's been a bit of a roller coaster, right? Like, especially when you look at like the Oilers, right? Like, they go on this awful start, and then and almost tie the record for most wins in a row. Look at Vancouver's lost 3 in a row. LA's won 4 in a row, or 5. Is it 5 in a row? 4 in a row? 4 in a row.
Yeah, I don't know. New coach bump.
Yeah. But Vancouver, who
there's been some surprises though. Right? Like, I didn't expect to see Vancouver that high up. No. I don't think anybody did. I don't know if anybody really saw.
Canucks fans will tell you they knew the whole time.
Toronto teetering on a wild card spot. Like Pittsburgh and Washington really truly making their plunge. I don't know. There's been some surprises.
Norm says the best thing from the decade of darkness was Hall and Ebbs with baby Nuge from the Bear.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in
best
Edmonton.
Friends in big boy beds.
Yeah. Now, is the Bear still a thing?
Oh yeah, they're a thing.
Yeah. They still do that kind of thing.
They still do that kind of thing. They don't do the Hall and Ebb skip anymore. But yeah, it was two best friends in big boy beds, and had all the, Hall was always spilling everything, and Ebbs was running around cleaning up after him. It was pretty funny.
So the heavy hockey showdown started because I had there was a fellow on Twitter back, I don't know, 6 years ago. In fact, I don't even know if he's around. I can't even remember his name. Sorry if you're listening. But his Twitter handle was Ryan Nugent Hopkins Teddy Bear, or Nuge's Teddy Bear, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
I think his name was Ryan, actually, as well. Anyway, I had him on the show. It was like episode 3, and I didn't know anybody. I had like 200 followers on Twitter, and I said, "Hey, like, do you guys ever get together?" At the time, I had already moved to Calgary.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. And so I'd moved to Calgary. I'm out there. I didn't know anybody from the Oilers Twitter community. In fact, when I moved to Calgary, I didn't really even know Twitter. Like I heard of it, but I wasn't involved in it. And so I get Nuge's teddy bear on the show, and we're talking hockey. And I said, like, you guys ever get together? Like the Twitter guys ever get together? There must be some hockey players out there. And he said, nope, I don't think anybody's ever done that. And I said, well, we need to do that.
Yeah.
We need to do that. And the rest is history. I mean, obviously, I don't know. He didn't come out and play. I think, if I recall, he was more of an ODR kind of guy than on the ice kind of guy. But still, that was the start of something good. Start of us raising, let's hope, over 30 grand for Sace.
There's still a lot of ODR type of guys coming out to play in the showdown this time too. Don't you worry.
Don't worry about it. They're there. Tough Call says Vegas just lost 3 in a row at home for the first time in a while. Lost to the Preds.
Yeah. And we've got an 8-game home winning streak.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Before this homestand, which we didn't really talk about. You said Bruins, but buddy, like this is a dooze. Wednesday,
yes,
Bruins, Friday, Minnesota, Saturday on back-to-backs versus Calgary. You and I will be at that game.
Yeah.
Monday, 2 days later, 26th, LA. Again, Wednesday, 2 days later, St. Louis. Right? Like a week from today, buddy, they'll have played 5 more, at least gearing up for their 5th game in 7 days.
So I said on Dursa's show there, I said Oilers beat Boston in OT, lose to Mini, and beat Calgary. And I figured they'll put Pickard in net against Calgary.
So 1-1-1?
Yeah. Well, no, 2-1 because they're going to win in overtime.
Oh, I thought you said lose in overtime to Boston.
No. I think they'll beat. I think they'll win tonight. I think they'll do just great. I just
time to remind the people that you said 1 and 2 in the last 3, and
I did. I was happy to be wrong because
they went 2-1, which is what I said they were going to do, and I said they'd win one of them in OT, and I said they should play Picard.
Well, Dallas. What you're leaving out though is I did think that they would beat Dallas after the fact. Like I stayed with 1 and 2 because that's what I said at the beginning of the month. Because I had said that they would lose back-to-backs. That would be the first time they lost back-to-back. And am I ever happy they didn't? Well, I don't know if my heart could have handled it.
Pickard playing against Dallas was one of the predictions that I've made that actually surprised me when it came true. I was like, whoa, geez, they did.
Yeah, I was surprised. But hey, it was great. I'm glad that they did that. And shows a little bit of confidence in Pickard too.
Just play the proper game in front of him, play your 60 minutes, and whoever's in that'll be just fine as long as we're playing our game.
Knobs again.
Why did you guys stop at the next 3 for your prediction? Why didn't you go down to LA or St. Louis for 5?
I don't know. It wasn't my show.
Like Dursa, being incomplete and unprepared.
I think he's going to be doing a Monday show, so he's just doing
part for the course. Oh yeah, well, fine, go and defend him now that it makes sense. Use logic, will you?
Yeah.
Well, this is our show. What do you
we're
going to happen in the next 4 then? So you got to throw an LA prediction down there too, and then give me your final.
All right, so what did I say? Boston and OT. Or I like Oilers and OT tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota wins. Beat Calgary. I think we're going to beat LA, and I think we'll beat St. Louis. So what do I got? 4-1. One of those in OT. If I had to guess another game go to OT, it's the LA. That one's going to be, but yeah, you know what? I take that back because I think the Oilers are going to have a burr in their saddle. Yeah, I take that back. No overtime in that game.
4-1.
Yeah, I think 4-1. And I'd say Pickard starts against Calgary, and depending, we'll see what the type of workload that Skinner gets in LA. or against LA rather. We
Mm-hmm.
could see Pickard again in St. Louis to give him a little bit of a break, or against St. Louis rather. These are all home games, but yeah, 4-1.
Mm-hmm. 4-1. All right. I'm going to say, geez, I don't like saying that they're going to lose tonight. I don't like doing that. No, they're not going to lose tonight. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say 3-2. We're going to beat Boston. We're going to beat Minnesota. We're going to beat Calgary and Hockey Night in Canada. That might be an overtime game, or maybe the Boston's an overtime game. One of those three will be an overtime win. Then I think we're going to drop 2 in a row. I think the high of Hockey Night in Canada coming off of that. We've struggled against LA this year already. We've struggled against St. Louis this year already. I think we'll see Pickard on the front of the back-to-back versus Minnesota, then Skinner versus Calgary, and then probably Pickard again against St. Louis, I should say, because, yeah, I agree with you. You should play that game, especially since Skinner let in 6 against them last week.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, I just can't see them losing the second time to LA in this month. Maybe they do, but that's the game where, I mean, we know like McDavid and Doughty, like McDavid will want to make him pay. You know, they left that game pretty damn pissed off, I think. Pretty frustrated. Yeah. There were a lot of things that they weren't happy about. I love that they're playing them again.
Yeah, just go, scratch that itch and get rid of it. Yeah, I can see my 3-2 falling into like a give Boston a spank. You know, Dursa just brought up a great point. It's going to be 10:20 Eastern time tonight before they even think of dropping the puck. Oilers need to take advantage of that. I agree. You know, they're not sure if Hampus Lindholm's going to be in the lineup. Boston's already, lost 4 of the last 5 games. So, yeah, I think, they could catch Boston tonight, then maybe let one slip against Minnesota because they try to game load or manage a little bit. And then you're right, maybe come out and spank Calgary because they're never going to let the opposite of that happen ever again. LA, they come out emotional and then they're just spent by the time they play St. Louis, something like that.
Yeah, and it matters. Hockey Night in Canada matters to these
guys. Oh yeah.
And
the Flames matter.
And the Flames matter.
Yep.
Yeah. And Minnesota's been playing well lately. And they, Oilers seem to Kaprizov always seems to have his best games against Edmonton.
Yep. I secretly want them to crash. I don't know. I have this dream that Billy Guerin's going to do us Oilers a favor somehow if they're not in a playoff spot, and I don't know, get us Marc-Andre Fleury and Patrick Maroon or something like that for down the stretch, or maybe there's a little bit of a Mike Greer gets involved as the ex-Oiler and takes on some salary for us. I don't know, some kind of karma there where the old boys pay us back. Not the old boys, but the kind of old boys.
Yeah.
The new generation of old boys.
It's amazing.
Hell, Steos, you can help us out too. Let's go.
It's amazing how many former Oilers are out there managing. Some stranger.
Oh, long time, buddy.
How you doing? No kidding. The name suits you tonight. It's been a while. I haven't seen him in the chat in a long time.
Let's get this chat going. What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, we got lots to talk. Lots of orb status achieved. Oracle status achieved. Yeah, Dash is the reigning Oracle right now. Lots of folks trying to take him down, but none have succeeded as of late. Pretty good.
I mean, that's undefeated months out there like me.
Yeah,
I got the last 3 games right as well.
You did. I mean, nobody. I would never have gone on record of saying the whole month undefeated.
Good thing is Josh always agrees with me, so it must feel good for him to be right all the time too. Love you, Josh. Tough call.
10 games
at Tough Call
10
Podcast
games.
on YouTube. And
My
then
podcast
say
sucks.
obscene things to him in the comments. It gets us all going in our private chat. It's fantastic.
Some stranger is it's 6:20 a.m. Where are you? Why am I just learning this now? Or are you traveling? You might be traveling. 6:20 a.m. That's like 10 hours difference.
It's like Turkey.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, man, that's
Eastern Europe somewhere, probably.
Maybe Germany. Could be Germany.
Poland. Maybe he's sipping drinks with Jaromir
India.
Jagr and
India. Look at that. We've got coast around the world tonight. We've got
India, Australia.
Australia.
Munching the data. Num 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 num.
We've got Nova Scotia. Tough call. Anybody from Edmonton?
My mom's probably on.
Is your mom on? All
probably.
Right. I always used to tell people
of Mrs. Dash.
When I started the podcast, I expected we got GP.
Yeah, checking in from Grand Prairie.
Yeah, Grand Prairie. Man, look at us. Look at us.
Hey,
we're going
you just
global.
Said you had 200 followers not that long ago when nobody knew you when all this started. Now you've had me on your show 96 times.
I know.
And you're goddamn famous. You're Mr. Worldwide.
I've gone up at least 10 followers. At least 10.
Mr. Worldwide. Pitbull. That's your new nickname for this weekend here, buddy.
Serbia. Huge fan.
No, come on. No, people are making this up now.
Oh.
Wow.
Serbia. Lakanac. Kakasi. Originally from Vancouver.
Hey, they've been fans of yours since 86. They've been following you since you were 10.
Jedin Vat 3. That's 1, 2, 3 in Serbian there.
Well done.
I know a little bit. I can speak in some stranger will be back in Edmonton next week. So he's
going to Sunday. Come to the game, buddy.
Yeah, he's gonna miss the heavy hockey showdown if it's not
technically around next week. I don't know when he's back.
Sunday. That'll be good. No,
it's awesome. Say hi.
Great. We've got 1:30 in Adelaide. Dobro. Yeah, me too. I'm doing really well. Yeah, this is awesome. This is good. We're going global. It's Oilers tonight, though. I mean, it's 6:30 in the morning in India right now. That's a morning game, right? Like that's going to be mid-afternoon. That's a matinee. The Oilers are playing an Indian matinee tonight.
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm always, blokes here, Chris Franklin from Australia. There are lots of, maybe not lots, but there are lots of Oilers fans in Australia. I said maybe not lots, and then I followed up with lots. There are
60%
Oilers
fans. 60% of the time, there's a lot of fans there every time.
There are Oiler fans in Australia, and I'm surprised at how many. There's a Oilers Brazil Twitter.
I think Lars has helped lead that charge for us, man. Like as
he's
waving that Oiler flag, yeah, because he goes and tours there every year. He's got Bloke in his back pocket. He's got all the rest of those guys. I don't know.
He's pushing it. I had this goes back years ago. I mean, when I say years ago, when I'm 30 years old, so I'm like not that many years ago. About in my early 20s, I met a young lady that was from Australia, and she was in Edmonton just visiting some family, and she was looking to buy a pair of skates. She played hockey out in Australia.
Oh wow!
She said, and we're talking 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And she said that 25 years ago, skates in Australia were hockey skates in Australia were $1,000 $1,000 25 years ago. I mean, that's how much they cost now. So she bought them while she's out here. Some stranger said he watched the Dallas game till 4 a.m. That's normal for me. Like I'd be
Yeah, you're
in my barge here on the coast of the Atlantic.
There you go. As per Reed Wilkins.
Is Reed listening?
Let's
Reed,
have
you out
Reed
there?
back again, man. My stomach hurt
Oh,
after that
man,
episode.
yeah.
He's a beauty.
The challenge is we're up against Stoff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and
don't say that. Everybody's gonna change a station.
I know. When I say, I mean, they like, yeah, it's like all of a sudden woo, there we go. Crash and burn. You mean
whoops.
Stoff's on? Stoff who? Stoff
what?
Who?
I never heard of the guy.
Oh man, but he's on that AM stuff.
He and Garfield? Yeah,
we're on the crystal clear tune-in radio. Crystal clear. Right? No YouTube. There's no radio waves on the YouTube.
That's right.
We're all good. Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more hockey. We'll talk a little bit more heavy hockey showdown. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Load that chat up with some topics. Let's talk. Let's take some.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, load it up.
Texts.
We'll talk about them when we get back. And Devin, Bruce, and the rest of the fantasy hockey hacks right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Mountain, or tune in at youtube.ca/heavy hockey, and make sure you like and subscribe. Looking for a hockey fix? We've got editorials, fantasy hockey, monthly brackets, and more. Go to heavyhockey.com. Hey, it's Oilers Live Tuesdays, a regular 9 p.m. Mountain Time, now streamed live on edmontonsportstalk.com, or tune in at youtube.ca/heavy hockey. Make sure you subscribe.
Oilers Live Podcast.
Want hockey podcasts? Tough Call Podcast, 99 Forever Podcast, fantasy hockey hacks, and replays of Oilers Live. Available anywhere you get podcasts. Just search for Heavy Hockey Network or go to heavyhockey.com. That's right. We need your help. We need your subscriptions. Make sure you subscribe at www.youtube.ca/heavy hockey.
Oilers Live Podcast. Oilers Live Podcast.
Hey, Michael back for Oilers Live. The pregame show before Tommy Gazzola and the gang get going on the pregame. Bruins in Edmonton tonight. Nuge looks to be sick and will probably take a seat tonight. Should be an exciting game. Skinner gets to start. Welcome to everybody. We just found out we've got listeners from around the world, which is great. Had me thinking while we're in the break. Is there like wherever you go, and I always make the point of this, like anytime I go somewhere, I count how many NHL hats or jerseys or anything that I see. And I'll be honest, like and I granted a good part of that was in the West Coast, like up and down to California and but the most that I saw were Oilers hats. And you know, I always think that that's just based from the dynasty years. But I see, obviously, there's a lot of Leafs fans out here in Nova Scotia. But if I'm at a Mooseheads game, I see a lot of Oilers hats, a lot of Oilers jerseys. You know, I've got a ton of friends that are Oilers fans here. I would say outside of the original six, I mean, you're going to have your Habs fans, your Leafs fans, but the Oilers have one of the strongest followings in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it was NBC put out some numbers a couple of years ago about like attendance when for opposing teams.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and the Oilers were number 1 in
Well,
terms
you
of
want to see
attendance. Yeah,
McDavid and Dry play, right?
yeah. But I've traveled around to watch them play all over the
Mhm.
place, and wherever you go, I mean, in droves, Oilers fans in
Oh, for
droves.
sure.
Yeah,
You and I
and
were in Buffalo last year. I carried on and went to Boston after. Yeah, it
yeah,
was Oilers fans in every stadium.
yeah, it's great. I mean, it's good to see. I've been to, I've been to I've been to other cities to watch other teams play, where the
Mhm,
Oilers weren't involved.
mhm.
And I'd say the contingent's not the same. Yeah. It's there's definitely a good following. It's I think a follow on from the Gretzky era, and now you got Connor McDavid. I mean, we've been lucky enough to have two of the greatest players ever to play the game come through our city. Um, Absolutely fantastic, but good group. I the Nova Scotia connection though, the minor league team
Mm.
played in
I saw a
Halifax.
couple Crepe Breton jerseys at the
Yeah,
last game, actually. I
yeah,
pointed that out to
and
my
then
buddy at the Detroit game. I said, "Oh, Bears,
they
you would
played
be
here
proud."
in Halifax the year before they moved to Cape Breton,
Yeah.
and they won the Allen Cup in Cape Breton, which is or is it the Allen Cup's the senior league? What's the AHL? It's the Calder Cup. Sorry,
I know what you meant.
not the yeah. You knew what I meant. Everybody else is like Allen
I
Cup.
couldn't find it. Yeah, Alan's the senior. But
Lots of great Oilers came through Edmonton for a time. Louis DeBrusk played here in Nova Scotia for the Nova Scotia Oilers when they were here. Only a couple games.
probably had 3 fights.
Yeah. Chris Franklin says, I've seen 5 Oilers jerseys in 3 different states here in Australia.
Well, that's because you travel around as a comedian, Chris.
Yeah, Oilers fans are
What about
funny
what
folks.
outside? What about outside of your collection?
That's right.
Lars doesn't count.
Yeah, it's all Lars. It's all Lars.
Stop following Lars around. There's your first problem.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. I mean, I stopped being amazed at where I see Oilers hats or jerseys or anything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's pretty good. I was at Disney with the family. Oh, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, and I was counting jerseys just because it's the thing I do, or jerseys or logos when I see logos.
Yeah.
And I counted the most I counted at Disney were Oilers logos. I don't remember what the number was, but it was actually considerably higher. I saw surprisingly, well, not so surprisingly. I mean, they were a bit of a hit in the U.S., but I saw a lot of Golden Knights logos when I was there. Yeah,
Lars cars, it's all the same thing. They both have odometers.
At the end of the night, I mean, who knows what you're calling them, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you know the bloke, trust me, there'll be a few of those.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, if you're ever in Halifax, we've got a good comedy fest here in Halifax. Let me know. Reach out to me. I mean,
Yeah, they do a
Halifax.
Canadian tour every year. They did Sherwood Park Festival Place and
Yeah, I
gave
feel
us
like
a ton of shout outs to that game. There was or that show, by the way. A lot of free advertising from those boys. Really appreciate it. Now we're global. Look at that. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Fit the he's drunk. I don't know what time it is there, but man, get into it. Do
it's a day that ends in Y, bloke.
That's right. Speaking of comedy, I'm going to see Bergazzi.
Oh yeah.
Here in Halifax this summer. Good guy. If you get a chance, I'm not a huge SNL guy anymore. I used to be, but make sure you check out the Weights and Measures skit on SNL with Bergazzi. Hilarious. Absolutely. Probably my favorite SNL skit in the last 15 years. Now, I did just say that I don't watch a lot of SNL anymore, so there's probably a whole ton more that are great. You're probably going to go and attack me on Twitter now. Attack me for other things.
Don't at me.
Bad hockey takes or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities for that.
That's right. There's a lot of things you can attack me for, but do not go after me for my take on the best SNL skit. What are the lines tonight? You think you figure? Let's go to our guys over at DFO. They've got.
I can't imagine they're much different than what we won with. Like Knobloch's usually.
Are you? Don't look, because I've got them right here. Yeah, you looking already?
No. I'm just
pointing at you on the screen to tell you to stop, but you have no idea. There's my.
No, I swear I have no idea. No, I just know that's what we had. Last game was Draisaitl.
All right. Well, Nuge being out, right?
Yeah,
let's assume Nuge is out. What do you got? Top
McLeod up.
That's not who DFO is.
No.
Source is Tony Brar at 2:20 Atlantic Standard Time. So this morning in practice. Let's see if okay. Oh yeah, Tony Brar did without RNH on the ice. The lines tonight. McLeod is not up on the top line. So I give you that. We've got Fogle, McDavid, and Hyman. So I'm putting Fogs up there. I guess he scored one the other night. Granted, it was empty netter, right? Kane, Draisaitl, McLeod. I like that. Like, I wanted to see that the other night a little bit more. So I'm all right with that. And then Janmark, Holloway, and Perry.
Holloway at center?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
and that doesn't surprise me. I mean, I think that they
got a shot in the A.
Yeah. I think that
no
you're
protection
playing,
there either. Like Perry and Janmark are wingers, right? Like that's I could have seen putting like Gagne or Ryan up on his wing.
You're not losing points to Boston, at least, right? Like you're not losing space in the Gagne, Ryan, and Brown. So Brown's back in. Eck and Bush, Nurse and Cece, Kulak and Desharnais, and let's hope that they never change the D pairings again. they won one day experiment that really sent ripples through the Oilers community. It was brutal.
Stauffer was talking about it on his show a couple days ago, where the top 5 D pairings in the NHL for expected goals for. We have 2 of the top 5 pairings.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And one of them is Kulak and Desharnais. The other one's Ekholm Bouchard.
Yeah.
Both. So.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I was talking about Nino will we'll talk about it, but it's Nino in Serbia says it'd be a shame if McDavid doesn't win a cup in Edmonton. Literally be the only generational player not to win a championship with his original team. Dan Marino of hockey. Yeah, I agree. I
appreciate that, but he's doing it.
Yeah, I think they've got to turn the corner this year. Like it's got to be this year. I was going to say something else. What was I going to say? Damn it. Oh, yeah, we were talking about this again on Dursa's show. Out of all of this defensive, all these lapses that we've seen in the last, since the All-Star break, and I think the game has slipped definitely for the defense.
Oh, high danger scoring chances have increased for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And I would say to you that the one not the one bright spot, I think there are a couple, but a big bright spot for me in all of that is Darnell Nurse has still maintained what he's put forward all year, which is just a really good defensive game. Like I've really loved and back to what I've been screaming for a couple of years is just overutilized in the past.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. he's been outstanding. I don't know if he's, and God help me for even talking about it, but I don't know if he's worth the contract we gave him. But it doesn't matter to me. Like if he is or he isn't, as long as he's playing good hockey, he's a 1-2 guy guaranteed on any team. And
Well, and after you said all that, I pulled up Breyer's lineup because I wanted to see if it was Skinner and net. And I see they've got Nurse CC as the second pairing. Right? When have we been able to do that before? Right? Nurse slotted in as that second guy. Sure, we don't want to pay him $9.25 for a second guy, but he can play a first line defensive minutes anytime he wants. He's one of the best skating defensemen. He plays amazing 5-on-5. He's takes everybody else.
He's capable of playing as many minutes as they gave him.
Yeah, damn rights.
Yeah, it's just night after night. Like, and the other thing that he had going against him is the whole defensive system was broken. Yeah. Right, like you're gonna, when you're playing half the game, you're gonna look bad eventually, right? Like it's just numbers.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, all of that aside, he's been a bright spot this year. He's been solid. Like there was at least 1 or 2 games at every stretch that I would concede, and I'm a Nurse fan, so that I would concede that
we both are.
That Nurse, had an awful game, but I haven't said that about him for a long time. Like he just makes some really great decisions, and he's he's not like the first time. I don't know when it was. It was sometime maybe in January where he stopped. He was about to. He would have. It was one of those plays where he would have typically just chased the puck into the offensive zone, and he stopped back and played a defensive role. And that's when it hit me that this is a new player. Like somebody is literally either talked to him or they've worked with him. They've got him to that point where he is just he's solid, and he's good. Like, don't get me wrong, he's good offensively. Like he can skate. The guy can skate. And he's probably one of the most athletic guys on the team.
Wow, look at the bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. But he's just making good decisions. Durst says they've been listing Ekholm and Bouchard in the top spot for a few games now. I didn't realize that, but
it's not top surprising. 2 pairings are interchangeable, and
but Ekholm's a guy.
Say that before
talking about like Nurse being so good. Ekholm's had a couple bad games in this stretch. Like Ekholm's not been.
You watch your mouth.
Yeah, wow, I love Ekholm.
Tell him you said that.
Please do. Tell him to come on the air and dispute me.
Would not be something.
Yeah, have a little mano a mano. Yeah. We got a Laddie Smead said he might drop by the Heavy Hockey Showdown. We should reach out to him.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, he
is a beauty to have on the show. He's got stories, and we'd need a censor button, but
yeah. I mean, that's
got one favorite word, and it ends up 3 times in every sentence, and you can guess what word that is, people.
We got all right. So we're around the league right now. We've only 2 games on so far. Sabres are 1-1. We got Chekai, Alexander Chekai scored the Montreal goal, and then Gergensons for Buffalo.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi. And then Philly and the Blackhawks as the most boring game of the night. Sanheim and then Blackwell. I say that half jokingly. I mean, obviously Bedard's playing in Chicago, but I've tried to watch Blackhawks games because of Bedard.
He's not on the ice.
Yeah, it is. It's boring.
Like they should just have a Bedard watch in the corner of every other game.
Yeah.
Right? Like a picture-in-picture where I just want to watch this game, but whenever Bedard's on the ice, I'm interested. Yeah, because the rest of that team is.
Yeah. And he's good. He's a good player. He's going to win. He'll win the.
Yeah, he came back pretty soon. He came back, earlier than I would have thought from a broken jaw. So good on him, and got a point in his first goal back, or got an assist on the first goal back. And
yeah, well, the guys caught up to him at 33 points, and since he's been back, he's put the lead back out to 6 points. I was when he did get hurt. Obviously, I wasn't hoping he'd get hurt because I would never wish that on anybody. But when he was hurt, I thought, well, if he's out for a considerable length of time, I was curious if he'd get the McDavid treatment for Rookie of the Year.
right.
Now that he's back and he's still going to win the rookie points race, there's just no way.
Yeah, McDavid missed more games than that.
I just feel like McDavid is one of those players that is so good that people are looking for reasons to knock him down. Right?
They did it with Gretzky too, man.
Yeah, they did it with Gretzky.
He's a crybaby.
Yeah, with Lemieux, they did it with Crosby. They called Crosby a crybaby for years.
Crosby.
I mean, he came by it honestly.
Crybabying, but exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but I was kind of curious what would happen there, but he wasn't out long enough, and he's come back, and he's. I mean, there's a lot of good rookies in the league, but Connor Bedard's a step above. There's no doubt.
Yep,
be good to see him and McDavid play best on best. That'd be fun.
I put a bet on Fantilli at the beginning of the year, just kind of thinking there might be one of those little things that happen. It's not always the obvious guy, but yeah, it looks like it is going to be this year. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, Fantilli's not doing so poorly either, right?
No, exactly. Like, I think he might have had his chance, actually, if Bedard would have stayed out a little longer with that job, but he came back pretty early, in my opinion. But if we're going around the league, we might as well talk about what some strangers in with, because the Canucks are on a losing streak. That's 3 in a row. They got scored on 10 times by the Minnesota Wild in that game. That was something to behold. 17.
I mean, it was DeSmith in net, but
wow, man, that's a football score. 10-7.
I was talking about this again Monday night. Like, when you look at DeSmith's numbers the last few games, they're absolutely horrendous. And I can't say that I watch enough Canucks games to know for sure.
I've got him up right in front of me.
Yeah, but does it, like, the last few games, he's under 900.
He lost. He let that 10 spot in. I don't know if they
650
had a second goalie in there, if they pulled him or not. But literally, how's this? Since you say that, the game before that was he lost in overtime 4-3. The game before that, he lost in overtime 4-3. The game before that, he won in overtime 4-3. No, lost in overtime 4-3. Yeah. No, literally, last 3 games before that, he lost 4-3 in overtime versus the Red Wings, the Blues, and Columbus. Ugh,
so not great teams, right?
Yeah.
And it just makes me wonder, right? Like, is this
that's 22 goals in 4 games.
Yeah,
against average teams.
Like, how much is Demko propping up the Canucks? I don't know. I don't watch enough Canucks hockey.
He helps that team. There's no doubt about it. Sure. I would put Demko in the top 5 to 10 in the league, probably, for goaltenders in the NHL. Easily. I think he's that good. Like, this is a consistent team, dude. I'm scrolling up here, actually. This 3-game losing streak is the biggest losing streak of the entire year.
100% it is. Yeah.
They've 2 in a row in October, 2 in a row in November, 2 in a row in early February, and now they've lost 3 in mid-February. So they've actually lost 5 of their last 8.
I mean, the best indicator, though, of how consistent they've been is when the Oilers win 16 in a row, and we barely made up any ground on them.
We didn't make up ground, dude. On December 16th, we were 12 points behind them. Then we made history. And when it was all said and done, 2 months later, we were 14 points behind them.
No, like, it's ridiculous, right?
Wow, but they also went overtime really 6 times or 7 times in that time.
Yeah. Yeah,
and let's not get you started on the Bettman point.
Yeah,
we're almost at the home stretch. We got 10
we don't have enough
time. We don't have enough time.
We haven't talked about it. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, it's it's look, the Canucks are doing well. Nobody expected it. I didn't expect it. In fact, I'm I'm pretty sure I said they were going to be out of the playoffs. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't
You gotta
play
learn how to
Edmonton
win, and the
again
Canucks
until
aren't
April.
there yet. Yeah, and Nino just said it there. There's no way the Canucks will go far in the playoffs. They have no prior playoff heartbreak, right? And that's so true, right? Like we thought the Oilers were going to win the cup the last 2 years, and you go on and have your heart broken and lose to the eventual Stanley Cup champions in back-to-back years. And, maybe they'll have learned their lesson this year. You'll go all the way back to the 80s where Gretzky said they walked by the Islanders dressing room, realized what it took, and said, okay, now that's the kind of effort we got to put in. So I also don't look at that Canucks lineup and go, ooh, Pettersson, he's going to dominate you in the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs are so different, right? I mean, it's a whole different world. Yeah. But the Canucks are good. They're playing good hockey. Don't take anything away from them.
Go back and check out Rashog's podcast from today. Him and Struddy were talking about it, and literally Struddy's quote, playoff hockey, it all comes down, and it's all about heavy hockey.
we know that here.
Tell him when he's
we live it. We live it every day here.
We named our goddamn network after it.
That's right. That's right. I mean, these guys are talking about us nonstop.
Heavy hockey wins, baby. Heavy hockey wins.
Look, the Canucks have played 58 games. They've won 37 times. Oilers have played 52 games. They've won 33 times.
Yeah.
So 6 games in hand, and 4 wins separate them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like the Oilers could very well, by game 58, have had 37 wins.
Man, Vancouver's hitting a streak now. We've been streaky. LA's been streaky. Vegas has been streaky. Whose division is this, man?
3 of those wins. 3 of those wins came against the Oilers.
Yeah.
When they were when they were at their, prime.
They were in their 25, 30 games, man. Like this is going to be it's going to be a horse race down the stretch. Honestly, we could end up taking the division, or we could be in the second wild card spot. I don't know what's happening, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, you know what? It has been a fun season. It's good. I mean, even look at the wild card race, like Nashville and St. Louis neck and neck, both at 60. Minnie's not far behind at 58.
Nah, Barry Minnie. I want me some Marc-Andre Fleury and Maroon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of things. I mean, LA could go on another slump. I'm not a big LA fan. Angel hasn't been on listening lately. I think he probably now
sick of LA losing to us.
Yeah.
Didn't have a leg to stand on.
Maybe.
The Angel lost his wings.
He was around a lot when LA was winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when was LA actually winning against us, though? That never happened.
I'm looking forward to the game on Monday. I mean, that should be. I mean, I look forward to every Oilers game. Yeah. Why else would I stay up so late? The game starts at 11 o'clock for me. 11 o'clock. What time is Tommy's pregame show start? Right after ours?
I don't know if they're going right after us. No, they probably go at 7. That's my guess.
They'd be smart to have a buffer.
Yeah. Cool down period.
You don't want to have that comparison going in.
Yeah, it's like a wrestling show. You don't want to, step in after the match of the night.
That's right. That's right.
After the bar has been raised,
I know.
Actually, it's quite the opposite. We've lowered the bar so far that no matter what Cass and Tommy talk about, it's going to be gold to these listeners.
That's right. That's why we're here. That is why we're here right now.
We're the warm-up act just to make sure how goddamn good the final act is.
No, you know what? They're on right after us. They're on right after us.
Well,
Tommy's probably listening right now, trying to get some of the good.
Well, if they're in studio, they might be. I think Tommy was, I don't know, he might be in the satellite studio today.
The satellite studio. Like
what?
One,
no matter where Tommy
Rogers
is, he's looking goddamn good. I'll tell you that. Till we mess his face up on Sunday. Don't come at me, Tommy.
Hard to believe there's still 30 games left. 30 games for the Oilers, right? What are we at? How many we're at 50. What did I just say? I've lost it like 2 seconds ago. We're at 52. Yeah, 30 games left in the season.
Don't act like I listen to you.
Yeah.
I don't
30 games.
Are they from Hudson's tonight, Durs? I thought that was on Friday. Is Tommy at Hudson's tonight again?
Oh, he's at Hudson's. Yeah, he's
Might be.
They probably got us live at Hudson's right now. They probably turned the music off and said, let's listen to Dash and Michael do the pregame show.
Let's listen to Dash in the Park. Yeah, and Mike Hebert. No, they probably turn the music up as hard as they can and then turn it down once they know Tommy's on.
I'm everyone's favorite D-lister. I'm there. I am there. So I am. We got like 3-4 minutes left. I'm on my way on a plane in the morning on my way out to Edmonton. Some strangers in India I told them, I said, get the hell out of town. I'm coming. You better get the hell out of town.
I'll pick some stranger up at the airport too. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll get you all. So I'm on my way. I'll be on a plane. Hit the Edmonton streets at about 10:30. Probably get my hockey bag out of the large luggage area by about noon. With it, and the sticks, and then
just have one of your private assistants on the private jet.
That's right.
Load it up wherever. It's the heavy hockey PJ.
I might end up playing some hockey tomorrow night. Are we going to get to watch some wrestling too? What time's Love Pro Wrestling tomorrow?
Oh, well, it's tomorrow is 7:00 bell time, I think. 7:30 on Friday, but yeah, we'll try and fit it all in. Let's see. You can play hockey tomorrow and come to wrestling on Friday. Friday's the big show.
Yeah, the big show. That's the one I want. I want the big show.
The big show. Yeah, there'll be a lot of could be a lot of heavy hockey guys out at that Love Pro Wrestling show on Friday. I know Bob the goalie's a big fan, and so we'll have quite a few people in town from coast to coast. It'd be great.
Yeah, we got to. I just want to see. I want to see get Bob get taken from the stands and thrown in the ring. Like, is it cage match Friday? Like, what's going on? What's the big show? Is any belts changing hands on Friday or being?
You have to tune in to find out, I guess, right? Man. But big heavyweight title match with God's gift to wrestling. Michael Richard Blaze, our savior, will be up against Richard King.
Nice.
In the Grand Championship.
I am not, as you know, I'm not a wrestling fan, but I'm going to go support you and the guys because it's awesome. And I think that's great that, Love and Spencer Love is a terrific hockey supporter and terrific supporter of the Heavy Hockey Showdown. Yeah. So, the least I can do, and I respect the talent and everything that goes into a production like that. So I'm going to go and have some fun and take that in.
Poach all their video editors.
And we need to, yeah. What do you like? Look at the video we got. What are you putting this down? This is awesome. Two of us here smiling like people live for this. Hey, we got a minute left. So a couple things before we get shut down and Tommy comes on. Check out www.heavyhockey.com/heavyhockeyshowdown. There's a link for the pregame. Check out my Twitter at Oilerslive. Go scroll through it. Find the WestJet link. There's a WestJet raffle. Fly anywhere. Does WestJet fly to India? Probably not. But fly anywhere WestJet flies. There's your odds are really great right now if you buy tickets. We've sold about 1,660 tickets. We need to sell lots more. All the money goes to SACE on that one. 50-50 starting right away. Chris, there's Knoblocker wrestling hold. We got 15 seconds left.
Let's finish.
Chris,
with
I
that.
love it. That's the thing of the night. Stay tuned. Stay here on TuneIn. Tommy's going to be on right away for the pregame show. Everybody have a great night. See you in Edmonton this weekend. Go Oilers, go. Good night. And I'm going to shut us down on YouTube here too right now. Have a great night, everybody.
Oilerslive.